The second semi-final here at the International Day of People with Disabilities 2018 Australian Power Chair Football Association Championships, and it is the Kiwi Reds taking on New South Wales. These two had a real fantastic battle on day two where New South Wales were given a real shock, trailing by a goal to nil at half-time. They then eventually won by 4-1 thanks to that man on the ball now, Abdullah Karim, but nevertheless, it was a tight encounter, and we expect exactly the same now as things get underway. New South Wales in the blue, kicking from left to right, and the Kiwi Reds, of course, in the reds, going from right to left. Alongside me is the victorious Tom Dixon. Tom, congratulations on that semi-final win, another grand final, and one step closer to the three-peat.
Well, that's right, Simon. I suppose no longer can use the attitude one game at a time because there is only one more game left now, isn't there? But yeah, this should be a great game. Brendan Massey had a great game this morning in the New Zealand derby, so it'll be interesting to see if he can take it up to them. And as you said, the first game between these two was amazing.
Brendan Massey's been unbelievable this tournament. In fact, the entire Kiwi Red team has been very impressive. Massey and Alderton and Wilcock as well. It's a very strong front three, isn't it, for the Kiwis? Very
much so, and you know, they can mix that up a bit too, can't they? Then they can chuck Luke back there. He's wearing the designated goalkeeper jersey, as you can see, so he can be back there in defence as well, which will help him out.
The real trump card, though, for New South Wales is that they have the world MVP, Abdullah Karim, and it's him on the ball now. They couldn't quite keep it in on that occasion. It was really his influence that managed to get New South Wales over the line the last time these two sides met, and it made a huge difference. Oh, that's gone all the way through, and we have the opening goal. Luke Alderton gets it.
Well, I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Chris Turnbull seemed a bit slow to get out of the blocks here. He had plenty of time to get to this ball, I thought, like sitting at the front there as a goalkeeper. He should have just edged forward a little. Luke is in a great position, though, isn't he? And let's see what happens. He just slots, just misses that ball. That's not great keeping from the Power keeper. He'd be upset with that.
Just misjudged it. But New South Wales straight back on the attack, and it's possible New South Wales falling a goal behind even earlier than they did the last time these two sides met. Now it's a good battle between Wheeler and Abdullah Karim. It's a 2-on-1, and it's gone in favour of the Kiwi Reds, and that's brilliant from Wheeler. I'm pretty sure it was more enthusiasm just racing in to get that ball against Abdullah Karim, but the world MVP got caught there.
Yeah, true. And it was probably Wheeler's biggest game he's ever played in, so you know, maybe you're right, very few of the excitable butterflies there. Turnbull making another interesting sort of error there, I think. I don't think I call that clearance. Bit high here at the top, I think. I'll look for a set, maybe go for a corner.
Alderton gets it back inside, but can only succeeds in finding Abdullah Karim, but it's come back to Alderton. Alderton and Lalia Davis doing battle, and Alderton can't quite get there. New South Wales playing in the 12 o'clock game against Western Australia.
Yeah, that was also a good counter, but they managed to account for Western Australia pretty easily in the end. Dimitri Louis Davis there had a bit of trouble with his chair, actually didn't play much, so they were struggling a bit with their setup and their structure. So Jordan Crane had a great game that game, though, and it's probably his best game of the tournament, so it'll be interesting to see if he can carry that through to this one.
It's a comfortable victory in the end for for Queensland, against the West Australians, but nevertheless, were you impressed with the way Western Australia managed to stick with you in that semi-final?
Yeah, look, I think in the first half, it took our boys a little bit of a while to adjust to some of the referee decisions are going that way. But like, you know, they played sort of I suppose a more aggressive style of game, and then they were getting away with a few calls, and so we just had to change our game up there a bit. But yeah, I was being impressed with them. I think they had a great first day, didn't they? And then the second day they struggled a bit, but again today they were back to their best, I think.
It's good to see, and it's a fledgling sport in Western Australia still. Of course, the efforts of Jason Lewis to keep the sport going over there can't be understated. And
we should also point out,
well, good work though here from Massey, and Massey gets the better of Lalia Davis. Can't quite keep it in though on that occasion. Great work from the young Kiwi there.
I'll tell you who has been impressive for WA is Dylan Needham, like the keeper mainly, and he's his like third year or second year playing Power football, so he is really playing well this season. I reckon he's close to the best player here at the tournament, probably the best goalkeeper. But you know, that's me looking from a defensive point of view too. Though I don't usually win many MVP points, but like he's done really well too.
It's a big call that. Abdullah Karim just nipping in ahead of Luke Alderton there, and Karim's going to whiz away now into the centre of the field and set things up for New South Wales, who will look to strike back. They trail the Kiwi Reds by a goal to 0, and Leo Davis will try to find Abdullah Karim. Abdullah Karim escapes away. Lovely set piece from New South Wales. That is exceptional. Abdullah Karim did everything right there, got into a position where I guess perhaps a less experienced team or a more experienced team would know that he's going to just disappear from that and allow that channel all the way through to the back post, but it was well executed, and New South Wales are back on level terms against the Kiwis.
Well, what he did is he held Alderton up there and Wheeler right there on the line, didn't he? He's away the green here.
Abdullah Karim gets there, but Wheeler's back, and
got a corner.
Will be a corner for New South Wales. And
well, the last set piece was amazing, wasn't it? We'll see how this one goes on.
It's all about the setup from these set pieces, particularly from an attacking team. Defensively, it's so important as well, and it's important to get it right. And when you've got a player as difficult to deal with as Abdullah Karim, I think they're setting up again for that exact same situation, but it didn't quite work out that time.
Well, they knew they could go the variation there because the other one worked. What you'll notice about Abdullah Karim in those situations, Simon, is that he'll go to a position and an idea to attract a defender to that position, and then he'll move. So he's trying to position the defenders where he wants, and he's very good at that. And when you're defending, it's very hard not to do that, distinctly move to that where that guy is.
There's an opportunity for New South Wales. It's again dealt with fairly well by the Kiwis, and Abdullah Karim just nipping in. His anticipation is exceptional.
That's a tough goal, that one.
An inquisitive look by Luke Alderton. It was the puppy dog eyes that I think did for Alderton and the Kiwi Reds there in appealing for that ball. Didn't get all of that though. Now Massey's going to do battle with Crane. Wilcox did well to get out of there, to be honest.
Massey's done well there.
Excellent work from Massey to crab across the field, but good
it.
well from Crane. Now Alderton, he needs to win this battle because Abdullah Karim is free ahead of him. Good work from Luke Alderton, but Crane doing well as well, and that's excellent work from the two rivals. They had a couple of comings together, quite literally, in the first time they played, and that may or may not have been a tactic from the Kiwi Reds to try and unsettle New South Wales, the former champions.
So it's close to a 2 as well.
Just getting away with it at the moment, are they, the Kiwi Reds?
Yeah.
Alderson's going to have a go here. It was well blocked though by the keeper.
I'll stop calling those, Simon.
It's put a whistle in your mouth, Tom.
Yeah. They wouldn't like that, mate.
We do have a good viewing angle here, and the camera work that you see on your pictures at home, it gives that elevated position, but does make things slightly easier.
Oh,
and then
now
I think
who's that going to be?
Karim's going to get penalised for that, and he's just out of position. He gets himself back in position now. Did look like Karim managed to turn in, and I don't know if that's what referees are looking for. Yeah,
well, not always. It depends who's reffing, really. So, like, you know, like in regular football, you would look at the guy coming from behind, making the tackle would usually get them. So this one, it's usually the guy on the front because he's twisting his position. But yeah, maybe the swing there, I would have called that way. But Abs looked a bit confused by that one too. He thought that was for his.
I think all good players get a little bit frustrated. There was contact there. The referees let it go. It's a New South Wales ball anyway, which probably makes sense.
Sometimes when the ball's between the chair and the bar, Simon, you know, it releases that bit of pressure as soon as it pops out. And so these strike forces are set up, and so they go bang because the ball gets out of there. So, yeah, that doesn't help.
Nevertheless, I mean, I think those accumulated contacts, you know, eventually will begin to pay, won't they? You know, in terms of fatigue, particularly on some of these players who don't have the necessary control of their core.
True.
You know, all adds to it, doesn't it? And we saw in particular Jordan Crane getting quite unsettled the first time these two teams played because of that repeated contact, and a lot of it was incidental. I think you know, it wasn't necessarily people just charging into each other, but it was the hard way that the Kiwi Reds played, and that can have an effect. Yeah,
definitely. So it's just like having a couple of rough tackles yourself in regular football. So when you get hit around a bit, it takes you a while to dust them off, and you might see a lot of that's why we about halfway through the halves when we do subs, because people need a bit of a break, and even just mentally after those hits can be tough on you.
Massey does well there, and excellent work to get that ball.
He might get done for reversing
though. He should get backed in, There was a good call from the referee, and Lalia Davis with a smile to the referee saying thanks for calling that one. I'm glad you saw it.
Oh, he's always smiling, always looking for a couple of easy frees.
Crane. Picked off by Wilcock.
Yeah. Just needed to control that one rather than smash it upfield. That was easy giving possession away.
Nevertheless, Sandra Wilcock's had a good tournament so far.
Yeah. That was interesting, wasn't it? Like, Dimitri was facing straight up the field, but it went against him. That was quite interesting. Anyway, we're up here. They're over there.
Wilcock coming off second best in that encounter with Abdullah Karim, who we've mentioned on numerous occasions won the world MVP, and it's worth mentioning because he's such a good player. He'll play a key role you'd expect for the Australian Poweroos in the Ditch Cup series that will take place after the grand final, which will be between the winner of this side and your Queensland Cyclones team, who won through to the final after beating West Australia by 10 goals to 1 in the end.
Yeah.
New South Wales still on the attack here. Massey doing battle with Abdullah Karim. Excellent work from Massey to get the better of Karim on that occasion.
Probably need to show a bit more patience there, the New South Welshmen. They had a good position, but they've let it go a bit. Oh,
might have been contact there. Instigated by Abdullah Karim. It's not called. Massey asked for it.
Great pass.
Abdullah Karim was almost knocked out of his position in one of those earlier contacts. He gets the ball back here, plays it back inside. Luke Alderton.
Oh, great hit by Dimitri there, Louis Davis there.
Good timing from Lalia Davis. Manages to get the ball back off for Kiwi Reds, and it's been a good contest so far. Still 8 minutes remaining in this first half, and at the moment, an opportunity now for New South Wales. Karim didn't get enough of a touch. Wheeler did just enough.
Don't want to be front on though, this is bad. Massey's going to save them.
Wheeler needs to play this ball wide to Wilcock. Doesn't quite get his chair doing what he wants it to do. You can see him battling with that hand. It's going to squeeze through to Wilcock now, and that's excellent work.
Yeah, that's going to be a red ball, I think. No. 2-1, yep.
Good call, says Tom Dixon, who's joining me on commentary, Simon Smale. Just enough time to issue a big thank you to our gold sponsor, Power Mobility. It's a one-stop shop for all your mobility needs. Make sure you drop into your huge showroom in Geebung here in Brisbane while you're here, or visit powermobility.com.au. You'll get all your information.
Oh, Massey is just murdered downstairs, excuse for the term. He basically went straight through him. Ads will not want to see that on replay.
Nevertheless, you'll be able to watch these in perpetuity on the Queensland Power Football Association YouTube channel. Make sure you check out all the games and all the highlights and just show what a fantastic sport this is. And if any person with deep pockets is watching, I'm sure any sponsorship
we'll
will
take
be greatly received.
Yeah, for sure. And big opportunities coming up in Australia with the Asian Pacific Oceania Cup coming up and the World Cup the year after that. So, you know, we always need sponsors and help. It can cost anywhere from, you know, just getting players around Australia, $3,000 per player and then $3,000 for their carer. So you put a team of 8 together, that's a lot of money. So, you know, so this sort of a tournament can cost you anywhere from $150,000 to $200,000. And you put international comps on, we're looking 300s, 500s. So, yeah, we need lots of help.
And it's worth mentioning that outside of the sponsors and the fantastic sponsors that we've had here, Inclusive Care, the International Day of People with Disability, and of course Power Mobility, you know, without people like that, I mean, really this competition couldn't take place.
No.
And players are having to find themselves to an extent anyway, but without that, and you know, you wouldn't even be able to put the tournament on, really.
Well, yeah, you may put someone on, but you may only get half the good players coming because it might come down to who can actually afford to come rather than that. So, yeah, but anyway.
11-a-side football has
been dealing with that for 18 months, so let's talk about football.
As I say, 11-a-side football has enough of a problem with funding issues and how much it costs to play. Good shot from Abdullah Karim. The whistle had already gone. It's 2-1 in favour of New South Wales, so they'll have an attacking opportunity. No advantage being played on that occasion. by our refereeing team, and just 5.5 minutes remaining in this first half. We're all square at 1 apiece. And it's been a good contest so far. Abdullah Karim in a good position. Oh, he's just broken off there. Good defence in the end by...
You don't want to split there.
The Kiwi Reds.
Look how patient this like Mercus Karim is there. He'll letting them make the decision where they're going to go.
Forcing the error.
Now he's got Mike Wheeler turned around. He might be pretty much happier. Mike will want to go backwards here. He's got Alton behind him.
Alton is ghosting
Great
away.
Pass.
Good pass. Good
Great
save,
defense.
though. Really good save, Luke Alderton. And that was a promising attacking move for New South Wales, and it broke down on the efforts of Luke Alderton and Michael Wheeler in goal.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they really held him up there, and I just think, you know, it was up to the New South Wales wingers to get out and give Abdullah Karim some options there.
Is there an element or a school of thought that Abdullah Karim, you know, being the player that he is, you know, he's so used to doing it by himself and often does it by himself anyway, that players sometimes do just leave him to it and let him do his thing.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, you can do that to a certain extent. But as you were talking about before, they get tired. You keep doing that. You know, you don't really want to be in one-on-one battles because once they work out how to break that down, as you can see, Massey's working him out slowly. There's more and more minutes that go by.
Here's an opportunity now for Edmonds.
Oh, yes.
And the shot goes in. It's just wide. It was a corner. It was deflected wide by Lelio Davis, I think.
Yeah, and like Turnbull was up high again there. I think he might have got a slight touch on it there too. But like, oh, they got a quick one.
Shot comes in. It's not over the line. The Kiwi supporters on that far side were celebrating, but prematurely as it happens. New South Wales looking to go up the field with Lelio Davis. Gets the better of Luke Alderton, but Wheeler's there and he'll need support.
Luke needs to get across.
2-on-1 being
called.
I
think what happened is because Luke Alderton was coming around the back, he was outside the box, and so he was too close to Mike Wheeler outside the box. Even though he's the keeper, he's got to be in the box to make that not happen. And this is the kind of slight little rules, unless they're being called all the time at the home leagues, that they don't pick up, and something that the New Zealanders are sort of probably get away with a bit at home.
There is a dearth of refereeing talent in power chair football, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah.
Football Queensland have provided some referees here, and it's just enough of a touch from Abdullah Karim, but not enough to deflect it inside the post.
Still 1-1 here. This is a great semi-final so far.
Very, very tense, as you'd expect. The first game was exactly the same, but here's Edmonds going upfield, going up against Lelio Davis. Edmonds tries to squeeze it through to Massey.
That was a dangerous clear.
Turnbull came out, but it was ill-advised to do so. Massey's going to keep this in on that far side now. Edmonds is on the far side. Massey can't direct it, can't get it in.
Great play for Turnbull in the end, though. He got him back.
That's why he's the Powerhouse goalkeeper, using his experience. But you're right, he's been a little bit shaky in this game so far, I think it's fair to say. And Kiwi Reds nearly benefiting from that in the form of Brendan Massey. Again, it's a young Kiwi side, possibly with the exception of Pat Edmonds.
Yeah.
I'm sure he won't mind us saying
That's
that.
all right. Pat and I were used to everyone going, oh, yeah, there's a lot of young people in school. And you're like, yeah.
I've just been sharing the microphone duties with Barry, who at 57 is the oldest competitor here today.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a good save by Alderton. Contact called on Karim. The New South Wales bench aren't happy with it.
I'll have to agree with the New South Wales bench because Luke Alderton was reversing, which is considered the more dangerous act for each of being called. But, you know, the referee's got to call what he sees. See, same thing there.
So I think on that occasion, Pat Edmonds knows he's in the wrong.
I sometimes find too, you know, they're getting used to power chair football, hearing the clashes, and they look up and they see the same person all the time and think, well, it must be that person because they've been around the last 3 clashes. So sometimes it doesn't always go the way you want it to. So maybe that is Abs' issue the first time was that they thought, well, he's always involved. So,
but that's part of the way Abdullah Karim plays as well,
exactly
isn't it?
Right.
He's always in amongst it, and I think the more you and a lot of that close contact stuff in which he excels. Edmonds is just trying to get out of that situation. Wheeler.
That was a direct free kick too, so they could have shot if he wanted to.
South Wales choosing instead to set things up, and
well
Wheeler does really well. That's excellent defence from Wheeler, and
that is his natural position. Simon. So, like, yeah, he wasn't playing there early in the week, and when he for his home club, North Auckland, that's where he plays a lot, and he's actually very good back there, we find.
Incredibly young side, North Auckland. Full of young New Zealand talent. Luke Alderson just asking for a little bit more space, as he is allowed in that situation. Well, Leo Davis can only find the back of the chair of Brennan Massey. It'll be another opportunity to get this ball in. This time it'll be Jordan Crane who...
Wheeler and Alton need to get closer together, and Wheeler needs to get back on that post here, otherwise it's going to be a goal. That's exactly what he's going for, yeah.
It was good defence in the end. I think they both knew what they needed to do, and they were aware of the fact, and perhaps even invited that shot on, knowing that they were having the confidence to deal with it.
It's a dangerous thing to do, though. You drive backwards and the ball goes across the front. Your heart gets mouth there.
Abdullah Karim puts that one straight into the chair.
Half time.
Of Dimitri Leleo-Davis, and a fantastic first half of power chair football in this second semi-final. New South Wales won, the New Zealand Kiwi Reds won, and it's following a similar pattern to their round robin clash, and it's been entertaining football so far, Tom.
It really has. Like, it's been almost, I don't want to say end-to-end stuff, but it's been quite a good battle in the middle there, hasn't it? It's not like it's been locked up between chairs. There's plenty of space and passing going around and running going around, and you feel like maybe, you know, Abdullah Karim might have another 2 gears to go up, and also Dimitri Louis-Davis, so maybe they just need to lift a bit. They need a bit of pumping up from the back there. Sometimes, you know, the goalkeepers can do that. That's what I've got to look for. But, yeah, I think, you know, just a bit more work and a bit more energy, they'll be able to get onto it.
You'd say New South Wales probably have the stronger bench, I think, but based on what we've seen so far. I mean, we haven't seen Andrew Kim so far in this game, and we know what a goal sneak he can be. There's also Jacob Cross as well, and Ben Keat, who could all come onto the field. So look, there are options for the New South Welshmen. The Kiwi Reds, Toby Lipinski, we haven't seen much of so far. Sandra Wilcox took a bit of a spell in favour of Pat Edmonds in that first half, but nevertheless, this is a really good contest, and the battle is on to join Queensland Cyclones in the final of this competition. That'll take place tomorrow. There'll be matches going on throughout the day, as you'd expect. 10 o'clock between the Kiwi Greens and the Queensland Barbarians, 5th place playoff. The 3rd place playoff, Western Australia will be playing in that one, and it'll be one of New South Wales or the Kiwi Reds in that. And then at 12 o'clock, the championship game. That should be a fantastic occasion between the victor of this game and the Queensland Cyclones. Then there'll be a short break, and then there will be 2 Poweroos versus New Zealand Ditch Cup test matches. That should be exciting. And run us through how those players and how those teams are being selected. The New Zealand team's going to be announced after the championship game, I understand, or perhaps it's even after today's game. Barry did tell, and I've completely forgotten, I'm afraid. What about the Poweroos? Is there an idea as to who will be in that side at the moment, or will players who have impressed and may have impressed you over the course of the competition, may they get into the competition? May they get into that Poweroos side? Yeah,
they may. I'm not really quite sure. The Poweroos side is chosen by the coach, who in this case is the New South Wales coach, Peter Turnbull, and I think he has decided that after the week he will actually talk about it and sit down and might even just select his squad of that. Previously, they've gone with the squad they took to the World Cup, and then maybe just made a couple of changes here and there. And you know, but yeah, it's up to those guys. I think, you know, leaving it till after the championship game, that's probably a bit late. I think the Kiwis will probably do it this afternoon, that sort of stuff. So yeah, look, I don't know. So it'll be interesting who they select in the Australian team. I think Dylan Needham deserves a run from WA in goal, definitely, even as a backup for Turnbull, if that's the case. Obviously, the mainstays, you got the Abdullah Karims, the Mercuses, and you know, the Castles. Those guys are always going to be first list selected, and then you've got the rest that sort of make up the rest. I'm not quite sure if Jordan Crane's done enough this tournament to do it, but he might get there.
Player who's impressed me, and this may be my incredibly inexperienced eye, but Rebecca Evans from Western Australia. I thought she had an incredibly strong first sort of phase of the tournament. She really stood out for me in that WA side. In that early stages, it was a WA side, but weren't perhaps performing as well as they might have done. So she certainly impressed me. I think the Queensland team have played very well together. You know, Tristan Peters has been grabbing a hatful of goals. I think that's certainly fair to say. So, yeah, look, I mean, it'll be exciting to see who does make the cut, and you'll be able to watch all of that on the Queensland Powerchair Football Association Facebook page via the YouTube channel. And we're underway here, and there's 19 minutes remaining to find a winner in this second semi-final. Although if we are all square after the 40 minutes, it'll go to extra time. Is that correct?
That is correct. It'll be extra time, and then if they can't sort it out after that, there'll be the dreaded penalties, and no football fan wants to see that. So, interesting there. That's a great little punch from Geordie. He's not going to get there, though.
It's good work. There was contact again. Luke Alderton cast a furtive glance at our refereeing team, and he was met with a stone wall of silence from the whistle, and I think that may have been fair enough. It could have just been incidental contact, or the referee was playing an advantage. Nevertheless, there's been a few looks towards the officials, more so in these contests than many of the other games.
Yes.
You mentioned the refereeing in your game against the Western Australians in that first semi-final being a little bit questionable, but it seemed to be quite accepted. You know, you seem to be accepting of it.
I don't think questionable was the right term, but like, yeah, I think this interpretations is different, isn't it? There we go.
Massey's going to do his best here. It's still in. A little bit of an error there.
Own contact there, so not a bad problem. That's going to be a corner.
That's sensational work from Bren Massey. He's been really impressive for the Kiwi Reds, and he'll be a real tough test for the Poweroos when he suits up, you'd expect, for the Kiwi team, unless I'm completely misjudging the situation. Shot comes in there from Luke Alderton. Lucky, it was well saved.
Yeah, he stayed on his post. Did a great job, Chris, there.
Good anticipation from Chris Turnbull, and then Massey can't keep it in. It'll be a goal kick, but gee, this is some performance from the Kiwi Reds.
That was some shot, wasn't it? Yeah.
Great effort, and Alderton can hit them. Even as a goalkeeper, sometimes those balls come flying towards you.
Yeah,
there's not a lot you can do about it.
Mate, it's going so fast. Yeah, it's right. You just sometimes got to hope and it's all about anticipation, as you said before. It's just, you just got to hope you believe, know what the shot's going to happen.
I see. Going against
great pass.
Karim. Lovely pass over to the fast post.
Great save.
Alderton manages to come from nowhere to save that shot.
Oh, jeez. Geordie might be in trouble for that sort of. That was an attack on the chair, really. I know he sort of got the ball, but...
Good battle here, and Abdullah Karim.
He does
Alderton.
Well. Oh, he's got away with that. I'm not quite sure if Karim should have got away with that one, but it's all right.
Well, Alderton, with no self-preservation at all, just went for the ball there, and it took Abdullah Karim, I think, a pretty good effort not to hit Luke Alderton, and then there may have been a bit of contact after via the ball, but nevertheless, play was allowed to continue. It'll be a New South Wales ball. Leo Davis playing it in. Matt Chair is really
fine, Simon. It's actually Alderton who's the keeper. Yep.
Oh, Alderton does well to keep that one in. Goes up against Karim, sorry, and it was a good battle between the two of them, and there's plenty of support for the Kiwis in the hall at the moment.
I was saying yesterday, I think the Queensland crowds love the underdog, don't they? So, I mean, unless it's an NPL game, I guess. But yeah, it's going well. Just being told by score, he's like Abdullah is going to be swinging around a lot, so expect the contact to ramp up here, Simon.